Hi, and thanks for choosing Planet Rentals for your next outdoor adventure. First off, we're going to go over some general trailer information that is pertinent to all of our different camping trailers, and then we'll go specifically over the camping trailer that you have reserved. First of all, when you come for your reservation, make sure you plan enough time to get paperwork filled out and the trailer hooked up. When appointments are rushed, we always find that then, some information is skipped over, or, we're not as thorough as we'd like to be. So make sure you plan plenty of time for your pickup appointment. Secondly, make sure that you have your driver's license and the insurance card for the vehicle that will be towing our trailer available and ready for us. We'll need copies of those along with the contract that you sign. Now, it's important that you know what type of site you're going to with the trailer. Many sites have water, power, and sewer hookups, and many sites have none of that at all. And how the trailer works and operates is quite dependent on that. And so you'll want to know those differences before you head out there. And then I wanted to go over some general driving tips for you. When you're towing a trailer, it's always very important to drive at a very slow and safe speed. It's just not worth pushing. Plan some extra time in your trip so that you have plenty of time to get where you're going. It's easier on our trailer and easier on your tow vehicle if you just take it easy. Secondly, because you'll be a longer rig, you need to make sure that you're careful when you're cornering. You need to take corners a little bit wider and plan for that sort of thing. It's always smart to know exactly where you're going, have good directions, or have driven there before, because it's hard to make evasive maneuvers or U-turns and that sort of thing when you have a trailer in tow. And then whenever you're backing up the trailer, make sure that you have someone there helping you back up to help you make sure you don't, of course, run into any obstacles and that sort of thing. And then when you're setting up the trailer, you want to make sure that you're being careful of anything that's overhead on the trailer or around the sides of it. Many of our trailers have slide outs or pop downs and that sort of thing that extend from the side of the trailer. So before you get it all set up, you want to make sure there's plenty of clearance all around the trailer. And then also, we want you to really treat our trailers well. We have what we feel the best trailers and the best pricing out there of any RV dealer. And a big part of that is because we really feel like we have the best renters. So we do put some responsibility on you to make sure you take care of our units. We suggest taking your shoes off when you go inside the trailer. That really just helps with cleanup. It helps maintain the floor and the furniture, all that sort of thing. We suggest that you try not to take the trailer off-road. We suggest that you keep it nice and swept and clean. And then, help with eliminating horseplay and other rough activities that may happen in or outside the trailer, just to help, keep it nicer and cleaner for those that come after you. And then also wanted to note that all of our trailers have a spare tire on them, of course, but that spare tire is not intended for long distance driving. That spare tire is intended to get you somewhere to get a tire repaired and replaced so that you can continue on with your trip. So please don't plan on using the spare tire to drive any extended distance if something were to happen to one of the original tires on the trailer. We of course keep all those tires in great working condition for you. Now we'll go over the general hookup of the trailer to the tow vehicle here. So the first thing we're going to do is lower the trailer down onto the ball of the vehicle. And then every trailer comes with a safety pin. This is what's going to ensure that the trailer is locked on to the truck securely. If the pin goes through, you've got it set up correctly and it can't come undone from the ball of the vehicle. Next we have the safety chains, and they have hooks that clip onto the security hole on the vehicle. I like to cross the chains once or twice, with one going this way and the other one going this direction. Next is the hookup for the lights on the trailer. All of our trailers have this 7-pin RV connection, and so you need to make sure your vehicle can accommodate that type of plug. And then lastly is the breakaway cable for the trailer. What this does is if the trailer were to come unhooked from the vehicle somehow, this cable will pull and activate the brakes on the trailer so that it doesn't keep rolling away. Alright, and then if you're using one of our equalizer hitches, you'll want to lower the trailer down onto the ball of the tow vehicle, just enough to get that pin locked in, and then you want to swing the arms up onto the side of the trailer and lock those in. Then lower the rest of the trailer weight down onto the tow vehicle. What that does is help transfer some of the weight of the trailer up to the front tires of the tow vehicle for cornering and braking, and it also helps with sway control as you're driving down the road. Now be mindful of the things that you put inside the trailer. If you're using one of our equalizer hitches, make sure that does not go inside the trailer on the linoleum. We've had quite a few trailers damaged that way, as well as generators and other rough equipment like bikes and things like that. Please be careful with the flooring of our trailers. All right, once you arrive at your campsite, the first thing you're going to need to do is level the trailer. So with the level that's provided with the trailer, you'll want to check for side-to-side levelness using the back bumper of the trailer. So you just put that on there, and then depending on which side is high or low, you'll raise that side up using the tires of the trailer and the blocks that we provide. With these blocks, you'll tuck them up underneath the trailer tire and back up onto them. If you needed to go even higher, you can build a little ramp using these blocks. Go even too high here. Once you back up onto the blocks, then you check your levelness again and make sure you're nice and level. And then once your vehicle's level side to side, you want to chalk the tires using the included chocks. Just one on each side of the tire. Tuck them in nice and firm, and then the same on the other side of the trailer on one of the tires. Okay, now that you're level side to side and the tires are chalked on the trailer really well, it's now time to unhook it from your tow vehicle and check levelness front to back. To check that levelness, you can just place the level here on the front A-frame of the trailer, and then you're going to use the tongue jack, raised or lowered, in order to level the trailer front to back. Now you can drop the stabilizers that are on the trailer. There's a provided crank that you connect here. You just attach it to the end and just crank those stabilizers down until they're on the ground. Once they touch the ground, I usually do another 2 cranks to support a little bit of the weight of the trailer, but you don't support much of the weight. In fact, these stabilizers are not used to level the trailer whatsoever. They're just used to help eliminate some of the rocking motion of the trailer when you're walking around inside. Now when your trip's over and it's time to hook up and leave, you're going to do all of those steps we went over just in reverse. So first you're going to raise those stabilizer jacks that we lowered. Then you're going to hook up to the vehicle and of course raise the tongue jack all the way. Then remove the chocks that are on the tires on both sides of the trailer. Then pull the trailer off of any leveling blocks side to side, and you're good to go. We're now going to go over the setup of our Stellar toy hauler. This is a great unit, especially if you're planning to haul some toys out to where you're camping. Here on the front of the trailer are 2 propane tanks. To turn those tanks on or off, you need to open up the cover that's on them. Now by convention, we have you use the passenger side tank first and then roll over to the driver's side tank if you needed to. And that's done by using this lever to point at the tank you want to use. So this tank, or this direction would indicate this tank, and that direction would indicate this tank. To open up either propane bottle, you just open up the valve all the way. Located behind the propane bottles are the 2 batteries for the trailer. Now you don't need to particularly do anything with the batteries here, but plugging in the trailer to a generator or full-time power will charge up those batteries as well. Lastly, on the front of the trailer is this battery disconnect switch. Now this switch turns off all the electronics inside the trailer if it's pushed in like that. So if something's not working inside the trailer or you have no lights, this would be a good thing to check because it does get bumped easily. So pull back out would turn everything back on. Starting down the driver's side of the trailer, we first have the compartment here that houses the built-on generator for this trailer. Now you shouldn't need to access this panel. You can actually start and stop the generator from inside the trailer. Located underneath the trailer here on the driver's side is the sewer outlet. Now if you have a sewer connection at your campsite, when you get to your site you can connect the sewer hose and run it into the hole in the ground that's designated for the sewer. Otherwise you would just use this outlet to drain the tanks at the end of your trip. Now the sewer hose comes on and clips and goes around those little notches here on the tank. Now there's 2 levers here. The gray one is for the gray water tank, which is for your sinks and your shower. And the black handle here is for the sewage or the toilet. Now when you go to empty out your tanks, you always pull the black water first, and it would be a pull out towards you, and wait until all of that finishes draining. Then pull the gray water out towards you, which will then kind of clean out and drain out your gray water. Then run plenty of fresh water down the toilet and through the sinks and shower to clean everything out. Located under the trailer close to the sewer outlet is where the sewer hose stores. So you just pull off the cap here and tuck the sewer hose down inside. Alright, back towards the middle of the trailer. This trailer features an outdoor shower, which you open up with the keys, and then it's just like a normal faucet with a sprayer. You have your service access for your hot water heater. Now you shouldn't need to access this because the water heater turns on and off from inside the trailer. Now in this cubby is where the power cord is stored. You can either pass the power cord out this smaller access or open up the cubby here to access the cord. Now the cord, we include an adapter that adapts it down to a regular extension cord or regular outlet. But many campsites have this 30 amp configuration plug for the trailer, so you can remove the adapter and just plug it straight into that plug. So inside this cubby is where you'd plug in the cord if you wanted to run any of the appliances or electronics inside the trailer off the built-in generator. So if you had full-time power at your site, you would plug it into your power at the site. Otherwise, you would plug the trailer into itself, like so. This is where the water inlet and the water connection are for your trailer. If you have full-time water at your site, then you would screw the hose onto the trailer, like such. And the other end of the hose would screw onto the spigot at your site. Now we have and include a pressure regulator that will go between the spigot and your hose, which will regulate the amount of pressure that will go into the trailer, just to ensure that it doesn't exceed the capacity of your hose or the water lines inside the trailer. If you don't have full-time water at your site, then you would want to fill the water tank, and that's done just by removing the cap, sticking a water hose into the inlet and filling it until it kind of gurgles back out at you. And this is the hot air vent for the hot water heater. Now I pointed out just because it does get hot to the touch, so be careful of objects that surround it and make sure that kids and people stay clear of that. Now the onboard generator also takes gas from this gas tank. So if you use the generator or fuel any of your toys, the gas will need to be returned at the same level it was taken, and the gauge for that's here. Back here on the back corner is a ladder to access the roof. Now we ask that you please don't use that and please don't get on the roof of the trailer. On the back of the trailer is of course the ramp to load up your toys. To open up the ramp, just open both buckets and drop her on down. To replace, just repeat. Opposite order. Here on the passenger side of the trailer is the fridge access panel. Now this is just for service access. The fridge will turn on and off from a button inside the trailer, so you shouldn't need to get inside here. Then open up the steps for the door, just a lift, and then flip down the bottom step. Now right inside the door of the trailer is the control panel for the trailer. So first, if you hold down this button, it'll show you all the different meters. Your black water, your gray water, your fresh water, and then your battery meter. The next switch over here is your water pump. So if you don't have full-time hookups at your site, then you're going to be using the water tank to bring water up to your faucets. And to do that, you have to activate the pump, which will pump that water up to the faucets. If you do have full-time water hookups, then you don't need that switch. Then you have just a couple outdoor lights here, and this is a switch that controls some of the indoor lights. Then you have your bed control here. Now the bed control switch works by just holding and pressing the button, and that will lower the beds from the ceiling in the rear of the trailer. Now don't put any weight on the beds until they're all the way down in their lowered position. Here at the top is a switch for the water heater. The water heater is going to use propane to heat 6 gallons of water at a time, and that light will go off when the water heater ignites. We actually have our propane off, so the red light's going to go back on, indicating that the water heater did not light. So you want to see it go red at first, flip off, and stay off. If you see the red light come back on, that means that it's not functioning. Takes about 10 to 15 minutes for that water to get hot, so we ask that you only turn on the water heater 10 or 15 minutes before you need it and then turn it back off. And then right here is the switch for the awning. You'll just press and hold the extend or the retract side until the awning's all the way out or all the way back against the trailer. A special note about the awnings, they're very temperamental and very easy to ruin. If there's any wind at all or if there's any rain at all, that awning needs to come back up against the trailer. And we also ask if you ever leave the trailer, even for just a couple minutes, that the awning gets put away. It just becomes a big parasol in the wind and it holds a lot of rain weight on top and it cannot support all that weight. Now just around the corner is a CD and AM/FM radio that'll work off battery power or off plug-in power. And right above it is the DVD player for the TV. It and the TV, the air conditioner, and the microwave will only work off plug-in power or generator power. Now the TV itself can pull out by pulling the chain for different viewing angles, but when the trailer's in travel, it needs to be back and securely locked into place. Now there's an identical couch on each side of the trailer and they both operate the same. They fold up nice and flat so that you can pull your toys up into the trailer. To bring them down, you'll first extend both of the legs here, unbuckle it from the side, and fold it flat down. That would be if you wanted to use it as a bed, or you jackknife it up into a sofa. Now there's also two identical tables for each couch. For each one there's two poles that you place into the floor, and then a table that you just clip right onto the poles. Now the stove here is going to run off of propane. You're just going to take a knob and turn it to the light and then use a lighter to light up the corresponding burner. To fire up the built-in generator, you're going to press and hold the bottom of this button until the light turns orange. Then press and hold the top of it until the generator starts up. To stop the generator, you're just going to press and hold on the bottom. Here at the top of the fridge are the controls to turn the fridge on or off and to choose whether you run your fridge off plug-in power or off propane. To turn the fridge on, the left switch would get depressed, and then the right switch indicates whether you want to run it off electric or gas. In is electric, out is gas. Now when you're running it off gas, if that gas ever has a hiccup in the gas line or if the propane runs out, this check light will come on. You can remedy the problem, then turn the fridge off for 10 or 15 seconds and back on to make sure that it's operating correctly. Now to flush the toilet, you'll step on the handle here on the front. If you want to flush some water with it to help wash everything down, and you don't have full-time water hookups, you'll need to activate the water pump on the trailer. Now we include RV safe toilet paper with the trailer. No other toilet paper nor other products should go into the toilet. No paper towels or cleaning products, anything of that nature. And then we also supply chemical for the toilet. This chemical is just individual packets that you would drop into the toilet and flush down. We usually say to use one packet every other day. Now back towards the master bedroom is a thermostat that controls just the heater. The air conditioner actually has the controls up on the unit itself to operate that. So this thermostat, even though it has a cool setting, only controls the heater. You will always leave the fan in the auto position. Just flip the switch to heat, set the temperature to your desired setting, and the heater will kick on and off to maintain that temperature. Now included with the trailer is a user manual and a cleaning checklist. So if you have questions on anything in the trailer, it'd be good to refer to that manual. And then the cleaning checklist is a good checklist of things you need to do to make sure the trailer's returned in the same condition you take it. And then one last point about the toy hauler. There's lots of tie downs throughout the trailer. And it's just important that whatever toys or things you're putting up in the trailer are securely fastened down so of course they don't damage anything in the trailer. Thanks again for choosing Planet Rentals for your next camping trip. We hope you really enjoy our trailers and that you have a great time.